Good morning, ladies. Welcome again. So happy to have you join us today. Hope you get a good workout. Hope you enjoy yourself. Hope you're staying safe, getting out and doing your walks. We're going to start with a little handcuff. Good morning.
The next workout will begin in 60
Hands
seconds.
behind the back.
Please proceed to a station.
Knees nice and soft. Shoulders are down. Chest is open. We're going to do a nice flat back here. Hip hinge. You should feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings coming up, and you're squeezing those glutes, okay? Knees are soft here, not locked out, okay? So make sure you soften those knees. Think about pulling the navel in, and a little hip hinge here. Again, feeling that nice stretch in the hamstring, squeezing the glutes as you come up. All right, here we go. Hip hinge. So while we're stretching the hamstrings, we are also opening up the chest, which I'm a big fan of. Muscles that tend to be tightened, we're opening them up. Nice flat back. Squeezing the glutes. Looks like we get a bonus round here. So, nice flat back. Squeezing the glutes. Shoulders stay down.
Begin set 1.
Feeling the hamstring stretch coming up, squeezing those glutes. All right, we're going to do a little balance exercise. Most of you, I think, have done this, a little heel to toe walking. Heel to toe. You're going to hold for 2 if you can. Heel to toe, pull, all right? If you're finding that easy, you want to have a little more of a challenge, you can bring that leg out to the side, heel to toe, hold. You're staying nice and tall through the torso. Now we're going to go backwards, toe to heel, hold, 2 seconds.
Stop,
toe to heel,
exercise.
Hold, it's like you're walking a tightrope here, okay? Toe to heel, hold. Toe to heel, hold. Good. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls forward. Loosening up those shoulders.
Begin set 2.
Getting them ready to work. Head and neck is relaxed here. And then we're going to do some shoulder rolls back, opening up that chest. Nice big range of motion here. Always mindful that that navel is pulled in, knees are soft. Great. All right, now you're going to do a nice wide stance with the feet. Feet are going to be parallel. We're going to open up those hips, stretch out those inner thighs. You're going to push those hips back.
Exercise.
Reach across the body. Make sure that knee never goes beyond the foot there. Really important to protect that knee. You should be pushing the hips back, feeling a nice stretch in that inner thigh. Again, opening up those hips, all right? You can make this movement as small as you need to, but you should feel a nice stretch in that inner thigh.
Begin
opening
set
up the
3.
hips. Trying to keep that chest up if you can, reaching across the body. Great. Should feel like a great stretch here. And thinking about getting into that rhythm of breathing, which we'll, of course, use throughout the workout. Let's do a couple doubles here. Double. Little pulse. Nice. Reach.
Stop, exercise.
Good. All right, we're going to do another balance exercise. Standing on one leg, if you can. We're going to do a little leg swing. Standing knee is soft. Lifting one leg, swinging it back and forth, okay? Again, if you're finding this a little too challenging, you can tap here,
Begin
tap
set
behind.
4.
Tap here, tap behind. Otherwise, you're swinging. Chest stays up, shoulders are down. And switching legs, little swing, or tap in front, tap in back. Focusing on something in front of you, staying balanced. Swinging the arms, abs stay engaged. If you have any bands, we will be using some bands today if you have them. So if you have either a loop band, which looks like
Stop,
this,
exercise, and switch
or if
to
you
the
have
next
a handle
station.
band, which looks like this, okay? Good time to get that out. All right, but now we're gonna go to a squat. We're gonna do a bench squat or sit, okay? Functional movement, we all need to do this throughout the day.
Begin set 1.
So, move this up a little bit. All right, feet are parallel. We're going to push those hips back just like you're sitting down, touching down, Coming up, squeezing those glutes. If this is too much for someone, if it's too much for your knees or too difficult to go up and down on a bench, you can go to a wall sit, okay? Pushing the hips back, coming up, squeezing those glutes. Again, working quads, hammies, glutes, slow and controlled, touching down, squeezing the glutes. Functional movement, we all do this throughout the day. It's important to practice. If you want to add a little more to this, you can add a weight, all right? I like to hold it in front, right at my chest. Shoulders are down. Here we go again, pushing those hips back, slow and controlled, touching down.
Begin set
Pushing
2.
through both feet, squeezing the glutes. And as you push, you're going to exhale out, squeeze those glutes. Great. Again, option to do a wall sit if this is too much. Pushing the hips back, squeezing the glutes. Either way, we're working those legs. And glutes as you stand up. Squeeze. Push back. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Squeeze those glutes. All right. If you want a little more of a challenge, we're going to add a pulse here. Okay, so option to stay with the reps. Option to stay with that wall sit. Option to advance a little bit if you need a little bit harder workout. Pushing the hips back.
Begin set 3.
And pulsing. All right? Pushing the hips back, pulsing. Remember, the knees should not come forward here, okay? You want to keep that weight back, all right? Keep that chest up if you can. Anything in the lower back, and you're going to go to a wall sit, okay? Keep that back nice and supported. Otherwise, we're staying here. Woo! Feeling those legs. Keeping that chest up. Slow and controlled. Almost there, almost to that break. Woo!
Stop.
Pushing up, squeezing those glutes, shake those legs out. Great job. We got one more set of those. All right, shaking those legs out. Last set of squats. If you have a weight, holding it right in front of your chest, shoulders down.
4.
Pushing the hips back. Again, option to stay down. If you want a little more of a challenge, if you'd like to keep coming down and up, squeeze those glutes. Perfectly fine too. Otherwise, we're going to stay down. Finishing strong here, pushing those hips back. Breathing throughout. Last set here, ladies. Finishing strong. Feeling those quads. Woo! Working it.
Stop exercise.
Nice. Shaking those legs up. Fantastic. All right, we're going to do a band row next. If you have one of these with handles, we're going to use that. If you do not have one of these, and you have one of these, we're going to do a row like this.
Begin set 1.
Holding it in front, pulling back, all right? If you have no band at all and you have your little weights, option to do that bent over row, okay? So, working that upper back, postural muscles, back side. If you have a loop band, here's what you're going to do with that. Same thing, little bent over row, pull up and lower. Pull up and lower. You want to think about really squeezing those shoulder blades together.
Exercise.
Distance of your feet determines level of difficulty on that. Again, you can do with this little band too, one arm at a time, stopping at the body and release, or your little weights that you've got bent over row.
Begin
Nice
set
straight
2.
back, okay? All right, set number 2. Pulling up, slowly lower. Exhale as you pull up, shoulders down, away from the ears, slowly lower. Nice. Really important to work that upper back for posture. Working the chest, overworking the chest tends to promote rounding, so very important to get that back side as well. All right, take a break if you need it. Roll out those shoulders. If you have at home a post or a bar, a rail, say a stairway rail. You can also hook this around that.
Begin set
For
3.
future reference, I'm going to do that right now and do a row this way. That way you can stay upright. Lots of ways to row. They all work great. As long as you think about engaging that upper back, keep those shoulders down, keep that chest up, and exhale.
Stop exercise.
All right, last set. If you're able to, if you've got a band, we're going to do some pulsing. If you're doing this band, you're staying with that. Your last set on the other one arm. All right, shoulders
Begin
down,
set
chest
4.
up. Small pulsing here. Chest stays up. Nice, ladies. Working that upper back, keeping that chest up, thinking about that core engagement all the time. Nice and tall through the torso. Exhale, almost there.
Stop exercise and switch
All
to
right,
the next
if you've got
station.
this kind of a setup, we're going to try a band twist next. If you do not have this, you're going to grab your squeeze, whatever you're squeezing, and we're going to do a little twist to one side. Abs stay nice and tight, all right? Squeezing that pillow or ball, whatever you have. If your body does not like to twist, you're going to do a little teapot here. Elbow up, little weight here, abs engaged, squeezing the glutes, small tilt to the side, and coming up, all right? All working the sides here, okay? So, I'm going to use my band. Twisting to the side, slowly coming back, all right? Before you do anything, core is engaged, knees are soft, small movement, away from your anchor here,
Stop exercise.
and back, all right? If you're squeezing the balls, same principle. Knees are soft, shoulders down, little squeeze, ab engagement, twisting to one side, slowly coming back. Now, if you have any
Begin
back,
set
sensitive
2.
back, you can pivot that back leg, all right? But again, if you don't like to twist, go ahead and stick with that teapot, okay? Side bend. All right, other direction. I'm gonna turn my back to you for a second. Here, slowly coming back. So working that transverse, rectus abdominis, sides, obliques, and just pivoting on an axis here,
Stop
okay?
exercise.
Again, bracing with that core, all right? Throughout your day, your lives, you'll have times when you're lifting something, twisting a certain way, lifting something out. Really important to use that core for bracing. So this is a functional movement again, all right?
Begin set 3.
Ideally, I'd have a little higher anchor here, but working with what I have here. All right, here we go. Out and slowly back. Nice. So pivoting on an axis, abs nice and tight throughout. Core engagement, shoulders are down. There's your exhale. Slowly resist with the abs.
Stop exercise.
Great. We got one more set of these. If you're doing the teapot, again, shoulders are down, holding your little weight here. Small movement down the leg. Coming up,
Begin set 4.
coming up. Should feel that side right away. Again, thinking about that navel being pulled in. Slow going down the leg. Glutes are nice and tight, protecting that back. To the other side here. Squeezing those glutes. Almost there, ladies. Last set here. Abs nice and tight.
Stop exercise
Great.
and switch to the
Fantastic.
next station.
All right. If you have got one of these bands and your knees are good, we're going to do a band walk. If your knees are not so good, I'm going to have you do a clamshell. And I'm going to demonstrate that first. I think most of you know what that looks like.
Begin set 1.
You're going to be lying down, option to have the band over your knees. And you're going to do a knee lift here, small movement, working hip and glute, all right? You can do it without a band as well, no problem. You can add a weight here if you've got that, all right? If your knees are good, we're going to do a little band walk. So this goes around your ankles. Make a little room here. All right, we're going to go through the break. All right, so we're going to walk forward.
Stop exercise.
And you're going to stay on the balls of your feet, keeping your feet nice and wide, working hip and glute, just like the clamshells, okay? Forward and back. You control the level of difficulty by keeping the band nice and taut. And I like to say, you want to think Steph Curry
Begin set 2.
and not Charlie Chaplin, okay? So you don't want to be like this. You want to think about your head staying nice and even, core stays engaged, forward on the balls of your feet, backward. If you're doing clamshells, you're going to do 2 on one side, and then you're going to switch sides, okay? Still working that hip and glute. This is a little cardio oriented too, which I like. Get that heart rate up. Woo! Should really be feeling it. I know I am. Nice. Coming up on that break.
Stop exercise.
Great. All right, now we're going to go sideways. Clamshell people are going to stay with the clamshells. If you've got a band around your feet and you're doing the walk, we're going to do now a side shuffle or walk. So, option to shuffle here or to walk here.
Begin set 3.
You want to be a little more aggressive, you're going to do a nice shuffle. You're going to stay low to the ground. Woo! Again, hip and glute working here. If you're doing the shuffle, you're also getting that heart rate up a little bit. Clamshell, you're making sure those hips stay stacked, not rolling the hips back. Side shuffle, hip and glute, hip and glute.
Stop
Heart rate up.
exercise.
Nice. And I'm going to just finish demonstrating the clamshell here. Which again, I think most of you know, but proper form, feet lined up with the hips.
Begin set 4.
Small movement, hips stay stacked, not rolling the hips back, knees stacked. If you're doing that shuffle, continue that shuffle. Lie to your feet, balls of your feet. Hip and glute, hip and glute. Now you can be up like this in the clamshell, or you can be down. Woo! Right here, baby. Should feel good. Almost there. Woo! Breathing through.
Stop exercise and switch
All right,
to the
fantastic.
next station.
Done with the bands for now. All right, we are now going to do, let me just double check my cheat sheet here, make sure I don't forget anything. We're going to do a chest press with your weights, whichever weights you've got. You're going to grab some weights. If you have a sensitive shoulder, instead of a chest press, you're going to do some skull crushers. So I'll demonstrate those first. Shoulders are down, hands over the shoulders. You're going to slowly lower the forearm and extend up. All right, the upper arm does not move. Shoulders stay down. All right, slowly lower as you inhale. Exhale, coming up. If your shoulders are good and you want to do the chest press, elbows come down, right over the chest. Inhale here.
Stop exercise.
Exhale. Now, both of those movements, you want to make sure there's core engagement. You want to think about that. And again, chest press, working chest and triceps. Skull crushers, working primarily triceps.
Begin set 2.
Keeping the shoulders very still, upper arm really still. All right, I'm going to continue with the chest press. Elbows come down, right over the chest. Again, thinking about that navel being pulled in throughout, core engagement. There's your exhale. Inhale here, and exhale. Slow and controlled on the lowering is always more challenging.
Stop exercise.
Now, if you don't have really heavy weights and you're finding this kind of easy on the chest press, you're going to do alternating simultaneous, all right? Which requires a little bit more core engagement, okay?
Begin set 3.
You're doing the skull crushers, you're going to stick to that, making sure that upper arm stays nice and still. Those are going to be a little harder, it's a smaller muscle group. All right, so here we go. Chest press, either together or a little more of a challenge, alternating simultaneously. Keeping that navel pulled in and the breathing. Fantastic, ladies. Woo! Doing
Stop.
it. Chest and triceps. Taking that break if you need it. Bringing those arms in. Shaking out those wrists. We got one more set of these. I'm going to stick with the simultaneously alternating. Feel free to do both together if that works for you. If you're doing the skull crushers, pretty straightforward. Slow and
Begin set
controlled.
4.
Here we go. All the while thinking of that navel being pulled in. Nice. Core engagement here is key. Head and neck stay nice and relaxed. Upper body gets a break in a moment. Nice. Almost there.
Stop exercise
Right,
and switch to the
fantastic.
next station.
Okay, we're going to do some bridges next. If you're able to, I'm going to have you start with a figure 4 bridge, which is crossing one foot over. Great hip opener. Working that working leg, hamstring, and glute. Abs stay nice and tight. If that doesn't work for your knees,
Begin set 1.
you're going to do either a regular bridge, 2 feet, with option to do marching, okay? A little more challenging, all right? Otherwise, we're going to do figure 4. Open up the hips, hold, staying up, and pulsing here. Again, muscles that tend to get tightened throughout the day, your hip flexors as we sit, as we drive. Not driving so much these days, but any kind of sitting is going to shorten these muscles. Really important to keep them opened up, which helps the back. And this is a great stretch to do on a
Stop
bench.
exercise.
Sitting as well. All right, switching sides. Crossing the other leg over. Important not to drop that hip of the leg that crosses over. You want to keep those hips nice and even and small pulses.
Begin set 2.
And again, if the knee is not fond of this, staying up and pulsing with 2 legs, option to march. Okay, keeping those hips nice and still. And with any bridge, if you want to make it more unstable, more challenging, you can always put the arms up over the shoulders. Just takes away a little bit of the stability, okay? Should be feeling that hip now if you're doing the figure 4. Woo, hamstring, glute.
Stop exercise.
All right, we're going to do some single leg next for those of you who can. And we're going to do a single leg hip extension, which looks like this. Leg is extended, comes up to parallel to the other leg, back down. If you have a sensitive back, this is a little
Begin
bit
set 3.
safer of a single leg bridge. And if the single leg bridge is too much, you're going to stay with the double leg bridge, okay? Squeezing the glutes, pulsing, maybe put those feet a little bit wider, all right? So, single leg hip extension, coming up and holding, down, coming up and holding, or other option with a single leg, reaching toward the ceiling, a little bit better for the back. If you have any sensitive
Stop
back issues.
exercise.
All right, we'll do a few more on this side. Woo! Last one. Nice. All right, taking that break if you need it. If you're doing single leg, you're switching
Begin
sides.
set 4.
Driving through that foot that's down, working the hamstring and glute, keeping the hips nice and even. Abs are engaged. And if you're doing double leg, you're staying, squeezing those glutes. Squeeze, everything's nice and tight. Abs tight, glutes tight. Really
Stop
squeeze.
exercise and switch
Fantastic.
to the next station.
All right, I believe that brings us to planks. So we're gonna do a 4-arm plank today. Did side planks last time. If you feel like you need a little bit of elevation, please find a chair or a bench, an elevated surface. You can also do this on a half wall, an island, kitchen island or counter. And elbows underneath the shoulders. Most of you know the drill. I like the hands in front of the elbows. It tends to keep the shoulders down and the chest open. You are pushing those heels toward the back wall behind you. All right, if you'd like to add something here, we're gonna add a little sawing, okay? You're pulling that navel and squeezing those glutes throughout. Head and neck stay in that nice neutral position. And breathing. A lot of bang for your buck on the plank.
Stop exercise.
If you need a break here, you're gonna come down to your knees. Push those hips back and go into a nice child's pose, reaching the shoulders in front of you. Sensitive knee people, you don't have to go back quite so far, all right? I'm gonna keep going here. This time I'm gonna add a little knee drop,
Begin set 2.
which looks like this. Again, just giving you variations here should you wanna try them. If it's too much and you wanna just hold the plank, that's perfectly fine. If you're doing it correctly, you should get the same benefit, really pulling the navel in, squeezing the glutes, and reaching those heels behind you. Breathing, head and neck staying nice and neutral. Woo! Almost to the break, ladies.
Stop exercise.
Great, pushing those hips back. Feeling that nice stretch in your shoulders. Beauty of the plank is you can do it anywhere. You don't need any equipment. You can do it in a hotel room. You can do it at home. You can do it outside.
Begin set 3.
All right, for 3 and 4, I'm going to do a stir the pot, which is one of my favorites. So you're keeping that perfect plank position, squeezing the glutes, abs engaged, and you're drawing a circle in the mat with your hips, okay? If that's too much, please just hold the plank. This is only if you want a little bit more advanced. Otherwise, we are finishing strong here, ladies. Penultimate set. Woo! Option to take a break after this. Or if you're like, you know what, I'm not that tired. We need you to get nice and fatigued here. Want to really work it. Final set, if you're doing the stir the pot, you're switching directions. Keeping everything in the same plane here. Woo, I'm committed now.
Begin set 4.
All right. Last set, ladies. Fantastic. Head and neck stay nice and neutral. Keeping those glutes tight, pulling the navel in. Woo! Abs are tight. Seconds away. Woo! Almost there. Oh.
Stop exercise. Your training is now complete.
Fantastic. Let's do a little
Please lock your
child's pose
machines
here.
and continue to the
Pushing
cardio
the hips
area.
back. Should feel great on the lower back. I'm going to do just a couple of stretches for those of you who want them. Let's do a hip flexor stretch. You're going to be on one knee, put one knee forward, 1 foot forward, knee, hip, and shoulder all lined up. Gently leaning into that hip. If you need support with this, you can be holding onto a bench or a chair or a wall, but great for stretching hip flexors. I like to add a raised up arm too. That way I'm getting a stretch all the way through that whole right side, okay? Just make sure the shoulder doesn't go up, all right? So you're breathing, you're holding here. You can also do this stretch on a bench. All right, we're gonna switch sides. Well done, ladies. Okay. Make sure this knee never goes beyond the foot. So the knee stays over the hip, heel, gently leaning into that left hip, and it doesn't take much. Option to raise that arm up. Again, hip flexor stretch all the way up through that left side. And you can do this on a bench as well. I just want to demonstrate this. I think I've shown this to a lot of people. Great for stretching the hip flexors, okay? All right, we're going to stand up. We're going to just do a little chest opener. Knees are soft. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.